Hello, travelers, and welcome to the Horror Greenbook, the channel that takes you from coast to coast and con to con. I am your travel guide, Brendan, and today we're just going to be hanging out, chilling, getting to a little bit of everything in regards to, a little bit of news with horror and also in regards to hanging out and watching some Sleepaway Camp. Hoping everyone's doing good. I'm going to just chill for a little bit and I will start the film, I would say, in another 30 minutes. Maybe a little bit earlier, depending on who hangs out here. But hopefully, everyone's doing well tonight. This is my first time doing a live stream from the scary sanctuary. That's what I call my man cave here. Um, who's in the house? Feel free to send messages or whatnot. Just waiting for a few people to come in, and we're gonna get in and watch some Sleepaway Camp on Tubi. It is on Tubi, but for those of you who don't have it, let me actually provide the link in the chat. Okay. What's up, everybody? Actually, see if I can pin that. There we go. So, if you guys are looking to stream the film, I provided the link in the chat. What's everyone got going on? Nothing much with me, just pretty much the same old, same old. I went to see Beetlejuice over the weekend. It's a pretty interesting time, mainly because I wanted to get out and do something a bit different. I drove a little bit over an hour to the drive-in. My local drive-in is actually pretty cool. So that was a fun experience to hang out. We had some good weather. Just enjoyed it with my family. My kiddo really, really enjoyed it. As far as me, I enjoyed it as well. It's not the best, but as far as legacy sequels go, I'm actually pretty surprised as far as how it turned out. And I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything here. So if you haven't seen the film yet, best believe that the spoilers are not going to happen here. But it was a pretty interesting take on where Beetlejuice and the characters from the film would be in today's age. What else can I say? It wasn't necessarily a flawless film, but then again, I didn't expect it to be flawless. I actually was kind of expecting the worst. Pretty similar to the Hocus Pocus sequel, but I enjoyed it a lot better than Hocus Pocus 2. Um, what else? Another good film that I saw recently was Oddity. Oddity was a pretty good film. Very creepy, which is what I was really enjoying. I like that whole atmosphere of, a creepy setting, very character driven. And, it's a story that doesn't necessarily require the biggest budget, but, just that sense of tension and dread is something that really stays with you throughout the film. So I really enjoyed that one. That one was pretty fun. Yeah, man, that was a pretty good one. I think it just received a video on demand release, so you should be able to stream that one. Speaking of streaming, I heard news about the Crow 2024 being released on streaming extremely early. I think like if I'm not mistaken, like next week. So, safe to say that was a bit of a failure. I'm kind of sad that it is a failure because I kind of like the stories of the Crow. Um, they kind of gave it the kiss of death with naming them Eric and Shelley. So people are really attached to those characters. So it's very very hard, you know, for people to actually let go of that. Yeah, it's definitely something I'm still looking forward to seeing. But I figured that it would be one of those films that would be best caught on streaming. Very low risk investment. Because theaters are getting more and more expensive. It's becoming one of those things that if you have a big family, you're gonna pay a pretty penny to enjoy a film, and you really want to actually enjoy it. So I really look forward to checking it out. I did see some reviews that gave me some concern, but I figured that there will be some things that I'll possibly enjoy about it. Um, I hope you guys, if you guys aren't subscribers, I hope you will consider subscribing because I have some very cool things coming up on the channel. This weekend, I will be in Cincinnati for Horror Hound. Yes, I will be returning to Horror Hound for the second time this year. Um, I really enjoyed it when I was back there. What was it in March? And very fun con. I really like how they do it in the Midwest, and I look forward to checking out more conventions that way. Yeah, so that's something that I have upcoming. I also will be going to TerraCon again this year. That is in um, Marlborough, Massachusetts. So I will be back there. That was where last year I went for the first time. I saw Robert England. That is going to be a forever memory of mine. I got a chance to finally hang out with Robert England and just, just bask in that man's glory. I can actually say that I really met him. I met a few other people from the A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise that I haven't met. I'm looking forward to seeing a few new people getting on some of my nightmare posters. Well, my nightmare posters are back here. I should say. Sorry, guys. I'm getting used to my surroundings being on camera this way. As you know, I'm used to live streaming, the conventions and such, and vlogging. But this is a bit of a new, horizon for me getting over. So hopefully you guys are a bit patient with me. Hopefully there are no hiccups here. Things seem to be going smoothly. Um, I will be starting the film. Let's just say another 10 minutes. Let's start at 8:20. But I hope everyone's doing well. As I stated earlier, I'm just hanging out here in the scary sanctuary. Looks like we have a few more people coming in, which is way more than I expected on my first live stream from home. So I really thank you guys so much for being here and sticking in with me. Um, I just got word that James Earl Jones passed. So that was pretty sad to hear. Very iconic actor, and the word iconic gets thrown around very often, but I mean, you don't get much more iconic than the voices of Darth Vader and Mufasa. So, I'm thinking maybe the next live stream will be in his honor. Um, I am sure that there are a few films on Tubi. There is a horror related one that I did see that is on Tubi that looked pretty interesting that I had never saw before. I think I had it on my phone here saved, and let's see, James Earl Jones horror movie. Yeah, Blood Tide. So if any of the travelers have seen Blood Tide, make sure to give me a comment. Let me know how it is. I'm gonna likely put it up to see if it will you know possibly win for us checking it out, or I'll just see if the travelers are just cool with checking it out for next week, regardless. But yeah, I'm excited for tonight, guys. Sleepaway Camp. It won overwhelmingly in regards to the votes. The other films that I chose were Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the '70s version, and the other one was The Gate. So I tried to give a little bit of variety to see what my viewers wanted to actually check out, and by a wide margin, Sleepaway Camp won. And I can't be surprised. When I put it up, I kind of had a feeling that Sleepaway Camp would win. It's just one of those fan favorites, man. It's one of those things, one of those films that, it gained a reputation. If your experience, your first time seeing Sleepaway Camp was like mine, my first time catching it was in high school, and I had a classmate. I'll never forget it. I remember his name. His name was Kyle, and he was like, he knew that I was a big fan of horror, and he's like, "Hey, man, have you ever seen Sleepaway Camp?" And I told him no. It's not something that I was familiar with, and he was like, "Man, you got to check it out, man. It's I don't want to give away too much, but if you're a fan of like camp horror, like Friday the 13th, then you're gonna dig it." And man, Cal was definitely right. I was really, really impressed with it and shocked, to say the least, in regards to the ending. I'm pretty sure there are people that have not seen the entire film that know the ending. It's that notorious. So, and then of course, if you are familiar with the film, then you love Felissa Rose, you love all the, very, you know, quirky moments in the film that have become pretty infamous amongst horror film fans. And speaking of James Earl Jones, his dad is actually in that film. I think his name was Robert Earl Jones. We'll see it in the credits just to confirm. But yeah, his dad was a thespian as well, and he didn't get into acting until he was much older. All right, guys. We have 5 minutes until we're gonna start Sleepaway Camp. Just give you a bit of a time check. We will be starting at 8:20 Central, 9:20 Eastern. But feel free to, comment in regards to anything, guys. The chat is here for that reason. I'm going to be back and forth with you guys. Feel free to, talk about anything. That's what we're here for. I made sure to put the link in the chat. And next time I'll know to actually put it in the description as well, so people can actually have that handy. But all right, guys, we're getting closer and closer to showtime. Oh man. But hopefully you guys are getting ready for spooky season. I am incredibly ready for that. I had some news that my family and I will be on a cruise during Halloween, so that will be very interesting. I should be able to. Well, I'm planning on doing a vlog, just to show my experience on a cruise ship during Halloween. Maybe they'll have some cool going ons on the ship. I will probably do something fun like maybe live stream or something. I know Halloween 2018 is on Tubi as well, so maybe we'll probably do a watch party with Halloween 2018. That would be something fun for the travelers and I to get into. While I'm doing that, let me move. Let's see. All right, got my sleepaway camp queued up over here. Hopefully, everyone is doing the same. I'm not watching it on Tubi. I actually have a copy on my computer. So we're gonna get into that. Get into some fun campfire shenanigans. Let me see. Oh, speaking of which, hold on. Let's see. Stick with me, guys. All right, I have my sleepaway camp poster here. This is signed by Felissa Rose. This is actually one of my very first horror autographs, guys. It says, "To Brendan, meet me at the waterfront after the social." Heart, Felissa Rose. So, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites, And I met Felissa, of course, how else would I have gotten the autograph? Well, you could have sent in for it, but with Felissa, she was one of my first horror celebrities that I met at a convention that was at a Houston horror pop up. Hey, what's up, Lex? How's it going? Thanks for joining in. Are you ready for some sleepaway camp? We got about 2 minutes. Yeah, so I'm about to start it up here shortly. I'm not too sure on how much of a delay I have, so bear with me, guys. Just hit the start button whenever I say start. But Lex, how's it going, Lex? Let me see. Yes, I will be starting here very shortly. Yeah, but guys, I'm extremely excited. I've been a bit nervous about doing a live stream. I mean, extremely nervous. But here we are, guys. Can't be nervous any longer. Hopefully, you're ready for some sleepaway camp. We're rolling now, guys. In fond memory of Mom, a doer. All right, let me move this out of the way, guys. Sorry. Ah, sleepaway camp. Absolute classic. Ricky, Felissa Rose. Judy. Very infamous villain. Yeah, Robert Earl Jones. That's it. Glad to hear that, Lex. Glad that you're here joining me. Sleepaway Camp is just like such a vibe. Yeah. I mean, just to think like a cool film like this could like set you up for conventions for life. Hence why Felissa Rose is in high demand. I swear that's like one of the sweetest women in the world. Like she makes you feel like you've known her for forever. Man, I remember my first time seeing this. This is like such a crazy movie. I'm surprised the director didn't do more. Um, I hear that he went into law, but I mean, you come up with one like this. I mean, you definitely made your mark on the horror genre. He also did Return to Sleepaway Camp, so there's that. Hopefully, everyone can hear me well. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful lake. Typical siblings. Do people still water ski? It's not something that you just see much anymore. That would totally be me water skiing in today's age. It's like I'm ready to be done, guys. I took a cool picture. Time to go. It's always to impress a girl. Oh, such a cute family moment. Oh, nothing could possibly ruin this lovely family moment. Aunt Martha. I've seen some amazing Aunt Martha cosplays at cons, and it's always just like one of those surreal things. It's like, hey, dude, watch out. No, turn the actual wheel, girl. Turn. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, that's like that infamous accent that you hear about in jokes where you're just like, yeah, I was involved in an accident on the lake. 8 years later. Aunt Martha. Oh my gosh. Like that outfit, like my goodness. I really want that hat that Ricky's wearing. Like I've looked online to see if I could find one close to that, but most likely you'd have to actually get one like custom made. I need to find like someone that's able to do that. That's like an absolutely dope hat. Oh, young Felissa. Oh, it's crazy to hear that Felissa had like a major crush on Ricky, the guy who plays Ricky. She gives into some really cool insight about that on the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs from the original marathon. Around my finger. I think everyone has like one of those like really unhinged aunts out there. They may not be like Aunt Martha level, but they're somewhere where they're just like a little strange. Is that like okay for the aunt that's in your family that's like that? Is that on your dad's side or on your mom's side? What is the actual split in regards to that? I've always wondered. My more interesting aunts were always on my dad's side. Camp Arawak. It's not uncommon to see more than a few of those shirts at conventions, especially any convention that the Sleepaway camp cast is going to be at, or Felissa, mom's side, and she's insane. Lex, I get that. I totally get that. Well, for my kiddo, he would definitely say on my side because on his mom's side, it's just uncles, and they take up all the craziness in regards to uncles. There are no Uncle Frank in regards to like Hellraiser or anything like that, but there are definitely some really crazy uncles. Oh my gosh, like the shorts in this film are egregious. Like, were we in like a fabric crisis, like in World War II or something? Young, fresh chicken. Yeah, Camp Arawak didn't have the best background checks. Yeah, that dude was this legendary creep. Like, dude played that role like excellent. Has anyone been to a sleepaway camp before? I never got a chance to do that. It's something that I always wanted to do growing up as a kid in the 90s. You know, you watch Salute Your Shorts and stuff like that. So it's kind of like one of those experiences that I always wanted to have. But that's definitely one of those things in middle school when you go off for summer and you come back and you notice how certain girls have changed, or for the girls, or for some of the guys, so they will imagine that others have changed as well. So that's pretty interesting. I would have loved to have had that experience. Judy. Judy Judy is like, I would say she's S tier in regards to like just straight up cattiness, straight up just ultra high terrible energy. Like you just love to hate them. Yeah, church camp. I get that. Yeah. I went to a few church camps as well. They're definitely not the same, but they're a lot of fun. I went to a pretty cool church camp that my sister worked for, so I was able to go for free, which was a major benefit for my parents, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was a church camp, but it wasn't very churchy. It was more so just like, hey, a bunch of kids hanging out and playing games, playing basketball, soccer, going to different field trips. I always wondered about Judy's parents. I wonder if like Judy was like an Angelica Pickles type, where like she probably had like a mom that didn't pay much attention to her. One of those like '80s working girl moms. It could be that. I just wanted to. I always wanted to know what was the source of why she was so mean. And if you guys need a timestamp, I am at 14 minutes now. Hey, Papa Goss, what's going on? Hey, don't worry about it, man. I'm glad that you're here. Thanks so much for being here with us. I'm just glad, anyone that's here is just stopping by for a little bit. I understand how life can be. So I appreciate the support. Another cool cosplay that I've seen in regards to sleepaway camp. I've seen some sleepaway camp counselors with some super high shorts. So those are also pretty fun to see. I'm not that confident to pull off a cosplay like that. But who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one day, if you get enough drinks in me, I'll show up at like an after party wearing one. Hey, what's up, man? Come across any cool new toys or pops or anything as of late? And for those of you that aren't familiar, check out Papa Goss's page. He has very cool YouTube channel. Angela's in the lion's den. Like they really had attention to detail. Like the fact that the stains on his white uniform, it just adds to like the griminess of him. You don't know the trauma that my cousin has been through. Oh, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate your support, man. Seriously. Okay, I forgot to tell you guys. Okay, so my son just watched Sleepaway Camp for the first time, and you should have saw the anxiety on his face at this part of the movie when Angela is kind of trapped in the in the pantry with the creep. He was really nervous. He was just like, "What is about to happen?" So, thank goodness for Ricky, but also thank goodness for Ricky. If you've seen this film, you're kind of also knowing why I said thank goodness for Ricky because someone was going to find out something. So you just saw these kids run out of there. They're obviously super spooked. You're just not going to question anything else about this. Okay, this pot. Where do you find a pot that big? Like, obviously, it has to be like some sort of like commercial kitchen, but where would you find those in the 80s? I mean, that pot is huge. Like, that is the pot where you definitely want to cook for like big families, like huge stews or stuff like that. But then again, you have to have like a huge spoon to kind of like get down to the bottom. Because I would imagine that there's a lot of stuff that's going to burn up on the bottom. It's corn. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. All right, guys. Hot take here. I always thought that Sleepaway Camp did the Who Done It angle a bit better than Friday the 13th. I really, really feel that way. Friday the 13th did a bit of cheating in regards to the Who Done It part. Sleepaway Camp was a more legitimate, like, here you go. And it's a very satisfactory, you know, reveal. Oh boy, is it a satisfactory reveal. If getting what they deserve was a hard character, it would definitely be this guy. I've always liked this effect too. I like how like the flies like buzzing around there. Like it was really a camp. But I like the bubbling up of the skin. That was a very cool effect. My son enjoyed that part too. Yeah, it was more of a camp feel. That's what you get. You just like someone needs to start the wrestling chant. You deserve it. You deserve it. Okay, I'm still not sure on whether or not this dude died or not. I mean, it wouldn't be something that's unrealistic to think that he died later on from his wounds, from the burns. But I don't think it was ever really confirmed, was it? It could have just been something that I've overlooked. But if anyone knows for sure on whether or not that dude died or not, I mean, he totally deserves to be amongst the body count. Like, what's the point of that dude surviving? But it's kind of awesome to see him suffering. Was it a shame? Yeah, that was a legitimate camp. Like, look at all those flies. I mean, you should count them amongst the body counts. Jeez, all those flies. And to give you guys a double check in regards to time, I am at 21:45, 21 minutes 45 seconds. Let's see. Camp cover ups. Is that the same thing that happened with Jason's death in Friday the 13th? Did they just like cover it up like, oh, this is Voorhees? This is what happened to your boy. All right, never mind that gruesome accident, kids. We're gonna get you some good food. Tonight we're having beef stroganoff. Another thing I love about old movies are the old brands. Like that athlete's foot shirt. Oh, I would so love to have that. As someone that loves sneakers and sports as well as horror, I would absolutely love to have that athlete's foot shirt. It's something I should look for. This is another part of the film that my son found pretty funny. Oh, this is one of the most epic comebacks of any movie. Those shorts. My goodness, those shorts. You talk about hoochie daddy shorts. Sports scenes in horror movies are always kind of interesting. All of these dudes are dressed like my older brother at about this time. Yeah, my older brother is about the age of these kids at about this time. He shouldn't live. Bill, you can't come back from that. That is like an epic comeback. I mean, you kind of want to die after eating it like that, so it's just like I don't want to live. Just put me in the coffin then. That dude's a regular Willie Mays. He's out there playing games while the game's going on, and he still made the catch. It's very impressive. It's not the typical nerdy character. It's one of those things that let you know that teens are gonna always be teens, no matter what age. Like I look at teens nowadays, and like if I'm going to like Six Flags or if I'm going to anywhere or the mall, if I just so happen to randomly be in a mall for any reason, Now I see teens doing their thing. I'm trying not to be very get off my lawn ish because I remember being like this. Well, maybe not as problematic, but let's just say I'm glad Twitter wasn't around. Yes, yes, Papa Goss. I do have some cons coming up. I will be at Horror Hound in Cincinnati this weekend, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Horror Hound the last time I was there earlier this year, and then 2 weeks after that, I will be at TerraCon near Boston, and that will end off my September and get me geared up officially for October. And October, there's some fun stuff planned. I will be going to Las Vegas for the Joe Bob's Jamboree. So I'm a huge Joe Bob Briggs fan and Darcy, and even going back to the Monster Vision days, or even going back to the show on the movie channel. I go back that far. I am aging myself, but I'll be there. I'm hoping to go to Scarefest in Kentucky, in Lexington. I got media passes for that one, so I'm looking forward to that one. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm hoping that I'll make it to Spooky Empire again. Spooky Empire was so dope. It's looking likely that I will be going, so we'll see if that is the case. I'll also be spending Halloween on a cruise ship, so that'll be interesting. Yeah, so Hearthound is absolutely awesome. It's a great crowd. Oh my gosh, like you definitely have to go to one. I was highly impressed, but its reputation preceded it, so to actually really check it out was a great experience. So I'm glad that they granted me media passes again. So much love to Hearthound. Such a teenage boy fight. The girls are just like, okay, that's an awesome blue oyster cult shirt too. That mesh shirt. That dude must have been like part Caribbean or something. Hey there, Dan. How's it going? So sleepaway camp was a bit overrated for you. You could have went without it. I get that. I mean, I could definitely see that it would have its pluses and negatives for sure. Like I would imagine, like the counselors, other campers, the food, all types of things like that would actually, count into it. I imagine some people actually have some really crappy camp experiences. I'm sorry for the first announcements of Frightmare weekend soon. Yes, yes, we're getting close to that time. Um, I'm hoping to just go ahead and be at the official hotel, but if not, I'm gonna most likely get at the Holiday Inn again because it was pretty cool. It was close by to get like a Uber. I enjoyed it. It was pretty comfortable. I think they even had breakfast too. Yeah, so that counted for a lot. Oh, Angela's first words. Oh, brought her out of her shell. Hey, thanks so much for stopping through, Lex. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Um, I think we will do like a James Earl Jones horror movie in tribute for him. But thanks so much, Lex. I really appreciate you stopping by. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Dan, you were 13 and they wouldn't let you guys near the girls? Oh man, that never take me to that camp again if I'm a 13-year-old. What's the whole point of going to camp if I'm not going to be next to the 13 and 14-year-old girls? Now, this is me saying this as a 13, 14-year-old, guys. The girls are so unimpressed with the skinny dipping. Yeah, I definitely recommend that. Mainly because I'm someone that will be hanging out with friends and stuff until like the wee hours of the night. So, and with me being local, I'm, though I am local, where I am, as far as distance from the Las Colinas Convention Center is about, maybe an hour, a little bit over an hour. So after just hanging out all day, drained my social batteries, had a great time. It's just so much easier for me to just, catch a Uber or the shuttle back to the hotel down the street. I learned my lesson. I finally did that this year, and it was just so convenient. So I look forward to doing that. Hopefully, I will be on the actual official one or one of the close ones, like the Westin or the Texican. The tech. Well, I will tell you, if you want to actually get some sleep, do not stay at the Texican because they party all night there. It's like a cool courtyard, man. They party. Oh, it was a religious camp. Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely, Dan. I really enjoy that. I have some cool stuff coming up. I'm going to incorporate more watch parties because after spooky season and after getting towards the holiday season, horror conventions kind of die down. So I want to incorporate more watch parties to hang out with the people that watch my channel, and it's a good way to just talk horror with other people. So hopefully you'll be coming along. Thank you so much, Dan. I really appreciate it. Definitely catch you later. Uh oh. Scaring all the chicks away. Yeah, the Text is such a party. Um, the only thing with the Text is for the past 2 years they've had a bit of an issue with people's reservations. So I know some people that have reserved their rooms as soon as the rooms have been released for Frightmare, and some people have gotten cancellations. Either a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later. For some people, I think the first year they got cancellations like very close to the event, so they had to scramble to find rooms and such. But I would love to stay at the Texican. It's a party there, so I'm hoping that I could get there or the Westin. But if not, the Holiday Inn will work. Thank you so much for subscribing, Dan. That really means a lot to me. Hey, no fat shaming. That was always a cool effect with the snake coming out of the mouth. How was the Aloft? And how far away was the Aloft from the convention center? Oh man, I'm just glad that the Alamo Draft House is back open out that way because a lot of us got the news that it was closed down. Well, the DFW area ones were closed down, and it hurt a lot of our hearts, especially the Freyberg family. because that's a place that a lot of people congregate. They have showings there. It's just a great time. So glad that is back. I wonder who are the most effective police that you've ever seen in a horror movie? Because a trope in regards to police in horror movies would be that they're generally pretty terrible. So I wonder if there's any ever been a super effective policeman. I mean, other than like with a good one being a main focus of it. For instance, like Seven, or like a productive FBI agent like Jodie Foster in The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, those don't count. We're talking about regular Joe. I'm thinking maybe maybe Chris Sarandon in Child's Play. There's a chance. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you about that Scream screening. I tried, didn't make it, but they had announced because of course on Friday or something, like, the cast members were a little late, so they had to postpone it. So they did that bonus one, and I almost grabbed one of the last seats, but the website kept messing up on me, so I missed out on it, and oh, I'll never get over that. That's just the worst. Yeah, Alamo's dope. Like, I absolutely love the Alamo Draft House. I've seen Joe Bob Briggs there at the Alamo. That was a fun time. Judy's the worst. Judy is the absolute worst. Yeah, but there's so many conventions going on right now, and it's so busy. I think next year I'm going to switch up and go to more cons that I haven't gone to if I could make it work. Because, for instance, like, I'm going to the Joe Bob Jamboree, and that's something that I haven't done before. I've wanted to do it ever since the first one, but this year it just really works out perfectly for me. And that same week is Spook Gala in Ocala, Florida, and I've always wanted to go to that one. So hopefully I'll be able to make that one. I want to do the Spooky Empire in South Carolina. That looks like that was a lot of fun. Ricky just being shut down. But you got to give Ricky a lot of props because he was pretty persistent. He wasn't going to give up. All right, guys, we are at 40 minutes and what is about to be 40 minutes and 25 seconds if you need a timestamp. Yeah, there are so many good cons out there. Like, the convention scene is really getting big. And what I like about it is there are so many cons of different sizes. So I know, for some people, big conventions give them anxiety. So there are, smaller ones. There are medium sized ones, and then there are just like huge ones. So it's just one of those things where I like showing that side of conventions for people to kind of give them an idea of, like, which one would probably work out for them. Like, speaking of like huge cons, while not a horror movie con, there's a lot of horror movie related stuff there. There's a lot of horror cosplayers. There's even a huge epic horror picture in regards to cosplayers and stuff. I want to go to Dragon Con in Atlanta. Um, Something I've wanted to go to for a couple of years now as well. So I'm really hoping to make that work. hopefully next year. But I want to do Spook Gala. Um, do they do multiple Spook Galas a year now? I think they do. I don't know. I think they may do like multiple ones a year now. I have to double check that. He can't take it anymore, though, man. Those pranks, man. That kid would have never made it on Jackass. Or well, you know what? Maybe he became an executive producer for Jackass. Uh, Give me a break. So, guys, what was the first time that you saw Sleepaway Camp? As I mentioned earlier for myself, my first time watching this was in high school. I was maybe 10th grade, ninth or 10th grade, probably 10th grade. And I had a classmate named Kyle who knew I was into horror, recommended it to me. He was like, yeah, I think it was like at Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, the one that was down the street. And he was like, yeah, it's at the local Blockbuster. You could just find it. And I think they didn't have it on DVD at the moment. They only had it on VHS. So I was able to check it out, and wow, it's a film that I would never forget. That's for sure. Hey, DG, what's up? What's up? Glad that you make it. Hey, glad you're able to make it. Seriously. But yeah, I saw Sleepaway Camp. I was probably 16. And wow, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I was 16 because I think I was driving at that point. Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that everyone likes to tell their friends about. It's like, wait, you haven't seen Sleepaway Camp? It's like, let's watch this now. Like, it's such a simple movie, but it's very effective. Like, memorable characters like Ricky, Judy, even the people whose names you can't think of, like the creepy cook or the head the brolic counselor with the super tiny shorts. Oh, I know that ending. Oh, that ending. Wow. Yeah, that ending just warrants like so many explanations. You know what? This is my first time watching this and noticing the curling iron is like right over her bed. Bit of foreshadowing there. Yeah, like seriously, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like this is so fun. Like thanks so much. I'm glad that things aren't necessarily like going wrong with the stream or anything. For Felissa to only really speak a couple of words in this movie, she did such a great job. Rat is aboard and needs a screw. So many quotables in this movie. Um, Speaking of quotables and this being a memorable film, not this previous Frightmare, but the year before last, 2023's Frightmare, the cast of Sleepaway Camp was there, and I'll never forget it. Felicia's just such a fan favorite, but I'm sure you remember this little kid who was probably maybe like 3, 4 years old, and she brought him up on the panel stage because he was such a big fan. He watched it with his mom, and his mom was so proud that he stood up there at the panel and just hung out with Felissa Rose and the cast Like you would have thought that he was a cast member. How calm and patient he was. But that kid was awesome, man. In the Facebook group for Frightmare, everyone posted up pictures because she wasn't able to get a lot of good pictures. So that was awesome. Okay, DG said, keep doing it, man. I will. I don't know. Papa Goss, keep doing it, man. I will promote you. I wanted to put something like this together for a while. Hey, thanks a lot, man. I will really appreciate that. I'm definitely going to do them more often. Um, as often as possible. So I will make sure to announce them every time the on my community page. DG, first time saw parts as a kid, but was too young to really understand what was going on. Full watch probably in my later 20s. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of those movies that your perception of it really depends on what age you were when you saw it. Like even with the subject matter and everything, it's a surprisingly friendly film for younger horror, watchers. It's not necessarily too graphic as far as like the language or the death scenes or anything. Literally, the most graphic thing is the final scene, but it's more so one of those films that you'll probably have to answer a few questions for the younger viewers. Yeah, oh my gosh, she's such a fan favorite. Like, she has a huge line at Frightmare and OKC. She was also at Houston Horror Film Fest, and she had a pretty long line there as well. But I mean, she's one of those celebrities that I would see multiple times because she's just so warm. Like that woman gives like the most warm hugs. Like you will almost like she almost psychs you out to like question yourself. Like, wait, have I? Do I really know you? Like, do I know you very well? Because you're talking to me like I saw you last week, or and that's one of those things that I think people really do love about her. They know that she really appreciates the support. And it doesn't hurt that, she's probably a couple of drinks in by the time that you get to her. So she's just like loose and just like friendly and I love that about her. I mean, goodness, she's one of those people that I would highly recommend people to meet in all cases. She was one of my first horror celebrities that I met, so I couldn't be happier to say that she's that. This is a pretty awesome, death scene as well. With the nest. That's very creative. I mean, look, I don't know how strong that broom or mop is, but I'm kicking through that like I'm a member of the SWAT team. Annalise? Wait. Annalise Lay. You know what? You should put up exactly how to pronounce your screen name for me. Because it's such a tongue tire for me. Annalise Lay? But thank you so much for being here. I do remember you from my live streams. DG. Hey, how's it going? Yes, rest in peace to James Earl Jones. Actually, it was not his brother. The dude that's in this film is his dad. That's super cool, right? He was also in Maniac Cop. So, James Earl Jones' dad had a pretty impressive resume, especially for horror fans. I mean, if you ask me, Sleepaway Camp and one of the Maniac Cop films, his dad may have a better horror resume than James Earl Jones. I mean, James Earl Jones will never be able to, live down being in The Exorcist 2, The Heretic. I mean, that's it's The Exorcist 2. The Exorcist 2 is heresy in itself. So appropriate appropriate name for it. Yeah, I didn't even know that was his dad until Joe Bob Briggs had did the original last drive-in marathon. Adelau. Oh, Adelau. Okay, got it. I'll get to it. It will come to me. I'll practice on it. I promise I will. I'll get better at it. Yes, it made total total sense. Total sense. Thank you so much. Adelau. Okay. Adelau. Another cool thing about this film is they had a bunch of like wholesome moments. Like the wholesome moment with the family while they're on the boat. This moment here, it really plays on the emotions. The writer and director did like a really good job. No, I'd rather call you by the correct name. But thank you though. Thank you for being so kind. I really appreciate that. I mean, you're being very easy on the Southern boy. I mean, my Southern drawl gets in the way all the time. So yeah, this is actually a pretty weird, but also a very insightful part of the movie. I remember the first time seeing that scene. I'm like, what the hell's going on? You attribute it to trauma, which you would be correct, but so much more. Capture the flag. Like it really did give you a good feel of how I would imagine camp would be. Like my representation of camp is from pop culture. So you have stuff like Salute Your Shorts, you have this, you have Friday the 13th, you have The Burning, other things like that. Well, thank you so much for the rules. He's such a good kid. He was really concerned that he did something wrong. It's like, yeah, I have these raging hormones, but I still want to be a good guy. And then here comes you know who, trying to swoop in like a vulture. Judy goes through a growth spurt and she's just like, all right, cool. I'm just going to crap on all the other girls that haven't reached puberty like me. So, where's everyone located? Like, Adelau. Where are you located? And by the way, if I do call you that name, just know that I'm joking if I mispronounce it from now on. That's going to be like a inside joke. Like guys, I can't express like I cannot express how much it means to me that you guys are here hanging out with me. Like I'm really enjoying this. I was a bit nervous about my first live stream watch along. Oh, Arizona. Oh wow. Yeah, I was in Arizona for Days of the Dead Phoenix earlier this year. I wanted to go for Mad Monster Party Arizona, but hopefully it'll be next year when I make that one. There's a chance that I may go to Arizona again if I don't make it to Spooky Empire. I may go to a con called Artist Assemble, and it's horror related convention. It seems to be pretty cool. I got some good recommendations for it for other Arizona um, convention fans that I met. Man, but you know what? Arizona is definitely hot, but the one relief is that it's a dry heat. If it was like, if they added humidity onto it, it would be unbearable because, like, for instance, like, Houston can feel just as hot as Arizona because of the humidity being so close to the Gulf. But, you find some shade in Arizona, you could definitely make it work for sure. But my goodness, any type of walking outside or anything outside in Arizona is goodness. It is very oppressive. Judy just had a way of just like creeping up. Like goodness, she was a bit of a creep herself. Yeah, Judy's definitely top five of like horror villains. Like no matter who you think the villain of Sleepaway Camp is, it's definitely Judy. Judy's the worst thing in this film. Adelau. Oh my gosh. It's so hard. Oh my gosh. Especially Houston during the dog days of summer, it is the worst. Well, I live in Texas now, so I get that. I've been here 12, 13 years now. But just like, historically, Tennessean that moved to Texas. Just put GTT on the former abode, gone to Texas. But it's so cool to see. You guys should look back at like my Texas Frightmare video of last year, and there's also a Days of the Dead Las Vegas video where there's a panel from the Sleepaway Camp cast, and it's very cool to have them talk about memories from the film. They are so cool, and like they are all still, you know, they all still talk, and it's cool how they reflect on their legacy of the film and how much of a, you know, how ahead of its time it is. Like a very ahead of its time film. And it's cool because also you hear them as adults talk about the ones that they had crushes on, the little flings that they had. Yes, we can all commiserate about the heat. That's the great thing about fall coming up. Spooky season, we get a little bit of relief from that. I'm very glad. Pretty soon the leaves will be falling. Um, I'm going to be in Massachusetts very soon, so I'll get to go to Salem right before October, like literally the last day of September. So I'm going to miss the crazy October crowd. So I'm going to make sure to do another vlog about that. And hopefully, I will not get rained on like I was last year. That was a huge disappointment, guys. Getting rained on, and I was not prepared. Like, thankfully, I bought like a sweatshirt the day before at Terracon because I got drenched, but I still had a great time. I need to double check to see if anyone's done a filming location video for Sleepaway Camp. It would be cool to see some of these spots. I know that people do the Friday the 13th, the from part one, the campground very often, and they actually do events there. Hoping to bring that to the channel next year as well, guys. So if all goes well, I want to go down there during springtime, right before convention season really starts to pop off, so that I can have something to bring some content to the channel. Be a great experience. It would be cool to see the camp from part two, but I think it's a private camp, so can't necessarily get on there. Hey, DG, I totally get that. It wasn't until he got older that I realized so many of my childhood crushes were all horror final girls. Totally understand that because for me, Danielle Harris, lifelong crush. That woman, my goodness, like started for me as a kid watching Halloween 4 and 5, and that crush just never ended. So it's crazy to see my son enjoy Halloween 4 and 5, and he's just like, yeah, Jamie Lloyd, and I'm just like, yeah, Dad's met her in real life before more than a few times. So I've shown him pictures of Danielle Harris now, and he's just like, oh wow, that is the same person. I'm like, yeah, that is. So it's cool to see like the little horror icons that he'll get to grow with, like the girls from Megan, um, Alicia Weir from Abigail. Yeah, so I think that's very cool. Also, okay, that scene also takes me back to Scream 2. How strong do you have to be to force a knife through a wall? Like, I actually really want to try an experiment on that. I'm gonna buy like some plywood from Home Depot. Yeah, we're gonna do like a horror movie Mythbusters. We know we can't shoot through a floor like in Underworld. That was already on Mythbusters. I remember that. Can't shoot through the ground, guys. Just save the ammo. Oh, the little kiddos. It always ramps it up when you bring in the little kiddos. I think that's why a lot of people like Friday Part 6. Like they really brought the whole teen experience where it's just like, all right, you have ranging hormones. You have someone that may be bullying you. Conflicts and conflict resolution. Older dudes trying to grab fresh chickens. Yeah, guys. Time check 106 and 10 seconds. If anyone's curious. I know some people are probably watching on Tubi. So those ads. can get in the way. I think this would have been a pretty fun film to act on for sure. Everyone seems to like reflect very fondly of it as far as like the cast members. I know, DG. I know. I wanted to go so badly. I really, really wanted to go. Oh my goodness. But it's one of those things where it's like I have so much stuff coming up on the channel, and they're gonna be doing a podcast recording at Scarefest. So if I go there, I should be able to catch that one. But I'm so disappointed because catching them and Tyler Main and William Forsythe at the gas station, and then watching the screening of the movies afterwards, oh, so worth it. But I had to make an executive decision. Well, I had to make the frugal decision, the adult decision to say, you know what, maybe later. Well, that's the good thing about also Danielle living in Austin. She is available for all types of Texas events, so maybe they'll do it again another time. And plus, like those the um the swag bags that they give away are very much worth it because I think you get to take a picture with them. You get the swag bag that's full of stuff. Um, they fed you with barbecue from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre gas station, guys. So that's an experience in itself if you haven't experienced it. Um, yeah, it's a pretty good deal. I really really wish I could have gone. That was such a great like that's why there has to be a theory that Mel ran one of those, rings. So he probably would have been busted with some like really controversial stuff at that camp. Yeah, it's always a logistics thing, especially like if that was like sometime earlier in the year when there wasn't so much going on, I would have gladly taken that up. That's why I'm trying to stretch out. That's why I'm glad like certain horror conventions are branching out outside of the typical summertime. Um, the summertime and leading up to Halloween. That time frame. More starting to do things during winter, early spring. I'm glad that Tulsa's going to have their Tulsa Horror Con. That's going to be an excuse for me to get some content. Hopefully, Houston Horror Film Festival does another Christmas event as well. I love going down there for their pop ups. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make their October one, so I'm a bit disappointed in that one. If it was the weekend before, I would have made it, but hey, that is what it is. Oh no! Oh, that's too much. That's too bad. Oh man, I love his reaction. It's like you see a young teen just pass on from you, and you're just evaluating everything right there. He turned into Matlock right then at that moment. That curling iron, like it's definitely so Foreboding. Just don't turn the light on. Uh oh. That punch. I wonder if I. Well, no, I'm not gonna. I mean, at this point, there's two likely killers, but it just makes me think like someone took like a Golden Gloves someone's like a Golden Gloves champ in that house. Like they must have been really into fitness. Oh, the curling iron. And that's the cool thing about suggestion in horror because they didn't have to show you what was going on. It was one of those things where it's just like, mm, ah, you don't have to see it to feel it. So it's crazy because the woman that plays Judy, she actually signs curling irons at conventions. So she's admitted that more than a few people have brought those exact models of curling irons for her to sign. So that's cool though. I mean, I would love to have like a very awesome death that's related to something very unique in a horror film that, people would want to have signed. Oh no. Yeah, that's something to walk in on. Like, I would hate to be that guy and see what he saw. Yeah, because that's pretty messed up. That's the cool thing about Sleepaway Camp. They didn't really, you know, shy away from certain things. It's kind of like that movie that I saw recently on the last drive-in with Joe Bob called "When Evil Lurks." Wow, guys, if you haven't seen When Evil Lurks, definitely check it out because it's one of those films where they definitely pull no punches in regards to certain things that people shy away from doing in horror films. What candy is that Ricky's eating? It's just really wrapping up right now. Oh, child abuse. But that's not the only child abuse going on in that actual camp. He's doing the hammer fist on him too, man. It's all types of MMA and boxing going on in this camp. I mean, how many lawsuits did this camp go through after this? I mean, that was a better shot than Jason. Way better shot than Jason. I mean, the killer's really good at everything in this film. Strong, calculating, stealthy, um, incredibly accurate with the bow and arrow. Like this is a very excellent killer. It's crazy because yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, guys. This is like so crazy how uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me see. Sorry guys, it looks like my buffering is going on. Hopefully it's not messing up. I apologize if the stream's messing up, guys. Oh, the horror. And the stream wants to mess up like with 6 minutes left to go, but hey, it is what it is. I'm sorry if the stream's acting up, guys. That fake mustache kills me. Uh oh. Uh oh. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. Sorry if the stream's acting up, guys. Yeah. I was double checking to see what's going on, but I almost to the end, guys. Bear with me. I apologize. And Martha, no, those crazy parents that always want a little girl or a little boy or whatever. Sorry for the buffering issues, guys. Trying to see what may be the issue. Working on it, guys. Angela. Yeah, trying to see what's going on. Hopefully it works. Oh. Uh oh. Oh no. Mangled penis. So many questions. So many questions. Oh yeah. That's crazy. Absolutely epic. That face. Felissa Rose is doomed to make that face at conventions all over the country and all over the world, actually. So there is Sleepaway Camp, guys. I am so sorry that had some buffering and everything like that. We had some connection issues right at the last bit. Sorry about that, guys. Really sorry about that. But as I said, I'm gonna get better with these things. I really thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Um, Everything went well until the last bit. Hold on. Consider turning down video settings using a faster encoding preset. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn those down. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. But as I learn on these things, they'll get a bit better. Let's see, output very fast encoder preset. Okay, yeah,